Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you why you should probably not buy a remanufactured engine. I've got a little under 1,000 or 100,000 miles on this engine. I've got about 90,000 and a little over a year, like a year and 3 months on a Blackwater engine that was I bought remanufactured with ARP studs. They used black diamond head gaskets from Victor Reinz along with a Victor Reinz gasket set. The first thing I asked them when I talked to them on the phone is if they use OEM gaskets. And like apparently all engine builders do, they are diluted. And they seem to think that if you say OEM gaskets, you can mean either Ford box, Dodge box, Chevy box, or Victor Reinz box. They figure if they're maybe made in the same factory, you can call them OEM gaskets. But if Victor Reinz is stamped on the head gasket, it's a Victor Reinz gasket. It's an aftermarket branded, specifically named model gasket. Black diamond gaskets from Victor Reinz. I'll ask 100 mechanics and they'll say, yeah, that's a Victor Reinz aftermarket gasket. OEM gaskets means Ford blue and silver gaskets with a international or Ford part number stamped on them. Whether they're made in the same factory or not, you can't call them OEM. So that was lie number one. I have that documented on my call log. Lie number two, they said they would send me a blueprint on this engine. They said they would email it. They said they would send it with the engine. They did not. I found out later when I replaced the head gaskets that was because they put 40 over pistons, and their website and Mr. Craig Talley said that they don't like to go 20 over. So that's lie number two. I got 40 over pistons, and there was enough slop in the boring that they did that I've been getting excessive blow-by since I put the engine in. That was verified with the magnehelic gauge. And now I've actually got a problem on number 7, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's see, lie number 3. As soon as I got the engine, I saw that they had a Victor Reinz gasket set box sitting right on the valley of the engine. I called them up and they said, well, they might have just used that box because that was the box they had lying around that would fit in the valley of the engine. Nope, it was obviously a Victor Reinz gasket set. We went back and forth about the gaskets quite a few times. They claimed right up until the very end that they were Ford gaskets, until I said, no, these are Victor Reinz part numbers. Then they finally said, well, they're made in the same factory, so they're OEM gaskets. You can call any engine builder and they might argue that point back and forth with you forever. Apparently, if you're an engine builder, it's okay to call Victor Reinz OEM. Whatever. I put the engine in. Within the first 1,000 miles, the head gasket started leaking. I run stock. I have the cat and muffler installed, stock turbo, stock injector, stock everything. The only thing I got plugged in my OBD2 port is a Bluetooth adapter, and I'm constantly monitoring my temperatures and my pressures. Mainly because my head gaskets still leak. I replaced them once with black diamond head gaskets just to see if their claim of black diamond head gaskets being OEM quality could be verified. They leaked they leaked right off the bat with that as well. Did it again with actual OEM gaskets, and those lasted a little bit better. I did torque them down a little bit tighter, but they started leaking also. So I did an in-cab head gasket job, and it looks like the machining on the block was not good enough, and that's why they're leaking. So I've been running around for a little bit over a year with leaking head gaskets because I could not afford to keep tearing into this thing. And they would not give me a warranty repair because I did not replace the turbo and the injectors when I put the engine in. So I'm kind of stuck with it. But I'm sitting on the evidence right now. When I did the head gasket job, it became evident that they used an engine that had an injector tip break off in it. All the valves, or let's say 4 of the valves that were in the cylinder that had the injector tip break off were all crunched up, all gnarled up from, you know, hitting against an injector tip. So I basically got an engine that was completely totaled, and 40 over probably just barely got the marks out of the cylinder walls, and they probably went a little bit big just to fully get the marks out, and that would explain the excessive blow-by I've had since I started. But basically at this point, number 7's looking bad now. That happened within the last 2 weeks. Started smoking really bad, and now I'm getting a low relative compression on number 7. I actually just checked, I did a full mechanical compression test about 3 weeks ago, and all 7 were, or all 8 were within 10% of each other. My compressions were between 410 and 415 with you know, 11 to 12 cranks of the engine. So about 3 weeks ago they were all even though they were low around 410. But this low compression thing happened within the last 2 weeks. So let me show you what we're looking at. You go ahead and start her up. And you tell me if this looks excessive. That's straight crankcase gas. That's my crankcase reroute right there. Look at that. So, you know, that's obviously, I got a blown cylinder, obviously. Either the rings finally wore completely out on that cylinder, or maybe the valve seals started leaking on that side. But either way, you know, I knew this was a bad engine since I put it in, and I've been trying to baby it. You should see how delicate I am with this truck. I drive it like a grandpa. I change the oil every 5,000 miles with Rotella. I try to drive it with as much care and compassion as I can, and a little over a year and it finally blew. I do use Auto Ingenuity and IDS all the time to check my injectors and check my turbo, my VGT. You know, they wouldn't do a warranty claim because, oh man, look at that. Holy shit. Holy shit. Number 7 is gone. Yeah, 3 weeks ago I had a straight line. All 8 injectors were good. But now I've got such low compression on that cylinder that it's, you know, all the power balance and all the relative compression in the world isn't going to show a good value there. But I'm at Super Duty Service in Grain Valley, and we just got done lifting the cab and doing an engine on another truck, and now we're going to do mine next. Getting ready to lift the cab, and we'll show you guys what kind of quality machine work Blackwater engines does.